Alright guys, in this video I'm doing an interview with a musician turned stock trader or day trader. Alright Chris, can you hear me?
Hi. Hey, I can hear you. What's up?
Alright, so Chris, I wanted to do an interview with you because I think it would be interesting to see your transition, how you went from musician to an expert, I would say an expert day trader. Would you say that?
I'd say I'm like 78% of the way there in terms of just being able to be consistent, although I'm not consistently profitable yet, but I'm certainly getting there in terms of controlling my emotions.
Okay. Look, I want to share my screen, and at the same time, you can tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into music, and then how you got into trading. Actually, like how did you transition? Let me know if you
Sure.
can see. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I can see your screen, yep.
All right. So talk about how you got into music. Why do you like music, and do you think it helps you with your trading, and how you transitioned into trading? While I bring up your YouTube channel that you just started. So go ahead.
Cool.
What's
That's
it
an
called?
interesting question.
What's it called? Sorry, your channel?
It's my last name, Trading,
Okay.
Verillo, V-E-double
All
R.
right. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's two R's actually,
Okay.
and two L's.
Extra virile.
You misspelled it again. Oh my God, you can see my old guitar videos. That's funny.
It's your.
That's
It
one.
brings up your old channel first. Okay, let's
It
put
doesn't
them.
show my actual channel. That's interesting. I'm
There
in
you go.
disguise.
There you go.
Oh, there's my channel, yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, okay. So you asked me about my background in music.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, I've played music my whole life. I mean, I'm still a full-time musician, like if you put it that way. Um, I've just over the last year or so, 2 years about now, that I've made the decision to not. I've realized that longer term, I need something that I need more passive income, and I'm just looking for more portable skills to bring with me. And trading is just something that attracted me. When I first got into the stock market, it wasn't really, I wasn't into day trading because I didn't know what that was, obviously. It was basically just the idea of I wanted to know what passive income was and how I can potentially get passive income. So the first thing you learn about is just buying and holding stocks and accepting a dividend, right? Dividends. So the first thing I did when I got into that was I did a whole bunch of research about stock trading and brokers in Canada, and I found Questrade. Questrade was the first broker I opened an account with, and I opened up a TFSA, and my first stock I bought was Caterpillar.
Okay.
It was last year, October. Actually, no, it was 2018, October of 2018, I believe.
Okay. Just before
And
when everything dropped, I think, right?
yeah, and it was interesting because I didn't know what I was doing. I just looked at the chart for Caterpillar and I said it went down. No, actually, I bought it on the dip. I bought it on that dip right there. You see that huge dip
Yeah.
at the in October before November?
Yeah.
That's where I bought in, right around my average price was I think 117.
Okay. So around here, yeah.
So I bought the dip on Caterpillar without knowing.
Okay. Without knowing.
And
Okay.
yeah, and I ended up selling, I believe, after the new year, after 2019 had happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But at the
everything went
time,
up after in January 2019. So yeah. Okay.
yeah. So that's it. And I slowly started getting into stock trading, and it started with that. I bought a few stocks. I remember I bought the marijuana ETF, the HMMJ. I bought that, sold it for a flip after a few weeks. What else was there? I think I owned Facebook shares at one point, and just like I didn't know about options. I didn't know about margin. I didn't know about like how human psychology affects prices. Like all this stuff that I'm interested in now. When I bought those shares of Caterpillar, I just bought it because I thought it was low and it was bound to go higher.
Yeah. That's how I started as well, actually. And okay. And so, what do you like about music?
Well, music. I mean, music's been in me my whole life essentially. Like I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old, 11 years old approximately, sixth grade. And yeah, my dad brought me to guitar lessons every week. I studied music in Cégep here in Montreal, and I mean, I play guitar, piano, percussion. I teach guitar and piano essentially, and I'm also a certified piano technician. I tune and repair pianos here in Montreal.
Okay.
So in terms of portable skills, I have a few in the arts. So definitely I have an artistic background. I don't have any finance degrees. And actually it's kind of interesting, simply for that reason, because I have an artistic background and I got into stock trading. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I found interesting as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What about yourself? Do you have a degree in finance or anything? I know you're a certified accountant.
Yeah, I did I actually started in engineering actually. Didn't do well, and then I switched to commerce. And then I had the choice between finance or accounting, and I chose accounting, but definitely realized now that I should have gone into finance because it's more my passion. But regardless, I stayed in accounting and I got my title, which was a CMA title, and then I think a few years later they fusioned all three titles. So CA, CMA, CGA became one title, which was the CPA, which is the CPA now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow, nice.
now I'm an accountant, but like definitely my passion is more money management, personal finance. So I like talking about investing, how to grow your money, how to keep more of your money. So I like income taxes for that reason. I do have
Mm-hmm.
an analytical mind, I find. So it helps me a lot with income taxes. But yeah,
Cool.
so same reason like I got into the stock market is because I don't want to work forever. I want my money to work for me. Like my goal eventually is to live off the gains that I make from the stock market. It's been almost 10 years. I think I've been trading since, or investing or trading since 2009,
Wow.
different strategies. And I just keep trading strategies when I'm not happy. And I think I've found something that I'm going to stick to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think hopefully will allow me to achieve financial freedom. But so, Chris, what's the difference between investing and trading?
Well, trading, well, that's a deep question actually, because if think of trading, the word trading is such a vague word because we trade every day that passes. Like when you decide to jaywalk in the middle of the street, you're essentially taking a trade. The trade is you're potentially going to save a few minutes of your time, but there is a risk that you might get a ticket or that you might get hit by a car, you know? So trading is a really vague, it's a really wide term
You
actually.
you
So,
definitely read a book recently, didn't you?
well, I mean, I
You
do
got
read
that from a
books.
book for sure.
I mean, okay, maybe. Okay, one book I do recommend is it's
Actually,
called The Laws of Trading by an author, Augustin LeBron. It's a great
okay,
book.
okay,
And it doesn't talk about the nitty-gritty of trading, how to place an order, what's a good trading strategy, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't talk about that stuff. It talks about it goes more into depth about the human reaction and how humans evolve over time and how we trade and how trading is like in our being and it's
okay.
like just,
It's
it's there, you know?
instinctual, or
Yeah.
if that's a word. But like in terms of the stock market, are you more of an investor or are you more of a trader?
Yeah, so I'm a trader,
Okay,
guaranteed. I'm a
okay.
100% trader.
So
So basically,
yeah,
I
what's
make,
it? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, trading in the stock market is essentially being able to more often than not be able to speculate correctly on the direction of securities, but it's deeper than just that. It's not just saying I think Facebook's going to go up, you buy it and it goes up and then you sell it.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
So
And like,
sorry, so you're not an investor, so you don't care about the company that you're trading. You don't care anything. You don't care about the fundamentals. You don't care about earnings or revenues or what the potential of the company. You don't care about any of that, right? Correct?
I mean, I think it's important to kind of be aware of it a little bit, but if you're a day trader and you focus on technical analysis to analyze price charts, I think that a fundamental analysis should not be your focus if you're trading like that. If you're a fundamental investor, if you trade, if you buy and sell securities based on fundamental data, that's a different thing. In my opinion, if you're trying to trade short term, all of it is on price charts and technical analysis and basically analyzing human behavior. That's all. And not looking at CNBC.
So, what do you think today with the Dow dropping 600 points? What's your take on that?
What do you mean?
Do you think we're going to drop more? Do you think it's a good reason? Do you think it's justified what happened today, 600 points just because of a virus?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's
Do you
it's
think
it's a
do you think it is a virus? You think that's the reason why the market dropped, or do you think that the market had to drop technically and they're just blaming it on the virus? They're just looking for something to place the drop on. Or
I mean that's an ongoing thing in the market. I mean, it's we do know we have to be aware of the one thing, and basically it's big money is at work. So whatever big money does, that's what the market does, you know. If these big players decide to sell, or if they're decide whatever they do, that's what the market affects. In
and
my opinion, the
who's they?
news,
Who's they?
the institutions and the Fed,
Okay.
they're the big players.
Okay.
If whatever they decide, that's where the market goes, in my opinion. And whatever the news shows, the news could show whatever they want. They could show it's been an outbreak of this, an outbreak
Yeah.
of that. But the thing is, at the end of the day, when the market is dropping, they need to kind of show the average investor, they need to give out something to give like kind of like a theme for why the market dropped today, you know? Like the virus didn't go on Wall Street and start infecting the traders on
Yeah.
Wall Street and getting them to sell, you know? So it's like it's whatever big money wants.
Yeah, but people are saying that it might affect like the earnings of certain companies, so that's why the market is dropping. Companies that deal with China or anything like that. But yeah, who knows? Yeah,
I wouldn't be the one to ask personally.
yeah. Me neither. Yeah, I don't care about the news.
Yeah.
All right, so if we look at the SPY today, well, let's look at the past year. So yeah, you can see that every time it goes up, it comes down a little bit, and then it goes up again, and then it comes down hard, and it goes up again, comes down, and then we've had a pretty long run here, right? A nice bull run over here, correct? From October 2019 to January 2020. So I
Yeah.
guess it's fair that it has to drop a little bit, right? But if you look in the long run, which is I'm looking at 1 year chart here, it's still up from 1 year ago. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't last too long. So all right, so tell us how do you trade now? So actually, let's look at I don't know, I guess the daily chart at a 1 minute interval. Usually Question is better than that.
A 1 minute. I mean, you're not gonna get much info on a 1 minute chart,
What do you
especially on
want?
the SPY.
You want 3 minutes, 5 minutes? That's all. That's the best I could do.
No, I think just put the daily chart. Daily chart. Can't go wrong with that.
So from 9:30, here we go, 9:30. From 9 to 2.
It's just an escalator down.
Yeah. So you see this obviously when the day starts, you don't see the future. Your day starts, let's say at around here 9:30. So you see this candle, then you see this candle, you see this candle. When do you start to take action? Let's say you were focused on the SPY only.
Okay, well, look, before entering any kind of position, you need to be aware of your important price levels on the larger time frame before you zoom in and trade intraday. That's why I said look at the daily first. So basically, any market you trade, whatever it is, forex, stock, commodities, whatever, if you're day trading, you need to be aware of where your important price levels are on the longer term time frames first, because those price levels are very important if you're trading intraday.
So when you say price levels, I guess that's something that can be indicated by the moving averages and stuff like that, or
Not necessarily. Usually we use highs and lows of moves that occur. So like
okay.
pull up the daily chart of the SPY and maybe we'll see something.
This is the daily chart,
Well, that's the intraday time frame. Pull up the daily time frame.
like this. Here, this is 1 day.
Yeah, but you want to see candlesticks like you were just showing me.
You want to see candlesticks? Okay. Here's 1 day with candlesticks. The best I can do is 30 minutes.
But you had the daily just before.
So
It's
this,
weird.
here's 1 day with 30 minutes candlesticks.
That's weird. No, show the yearly time frame of daily candlesticks. There you go. That works fine.
Yearly with
That
daily.
works fine.
Okay.
That looks fine, okay? So look at the daily chart. You can see, so it's important to mark in key levels. So for example, I can't really see where you're at there, but basically, say the all-time high, for example, that's an important level. The low of 4 days ago, that's an important level. The high we made 2 days ago from today, that's an important level because it was likely that if we were to come back down from that level, that was going to be our daily lower high being set. You see 2 days ago,
Yeah.
we gap up, open, and we sold into that. Okay, and we closed that near the low of the day. So at that point, if we were to break the low of the day, the next day, which was Thursday, it would be extremely likely that our daily lower high on the daily time frame was set, and we were going to come down and form a daily higher low, opposed to our previous low.
Yeah.
That might sound a bit
Sorry.
technical.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah. So basically, the way it's about trends and looking at markets and looking at higher lows and higher highs.
Okay.
And so the higher lows and the higher highs in whatever direction, they can help us determine the probability of where the market's likely to move. But really, the more important thing is understanding where the traders are positioned during these higher lows and higher highs that occur, you know?
Okay, so quickly, a red candle means that at the beginning, a red candle means that we closed lower than what we started, what we opened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this basically means that we opened at this price right over here, but at the end of the day, we closed at this price here. So that means the stock moved all this, but the thin lines outside the candles means that it actually reached this point but came back in. So this
Yeah.
actually means that it started, let's say, at 332. It opened at 332. It went all the way down to this point here, but then came back up and closed over here, correct?
Yes.
So that means the end of the day was actually bullish.
Yeah.
This candle here indicates that the end of the day was bullish.
Not necessarily, because it's important to look inside of that candle to see what happened to. Just by the formation of the daily candle, you can't always get all the info you need. Sometimes you need to zoom in and look at the hourly,
Oh my God, okay.
see what happened. So basically the time frames I look at are the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour, the hourly, and then the intraday time frames
Yeah,
like
that's too
5
much.
minute, 5 minute, 3 minute,
Okay.
and 2 minute. That's it.
All right, so if we look at, can we look at 1 day chart of SPY?
And that's why I like to use TradingView, because with TradingView I have all the time frames I need just with a click of a button, and they just show up there.
Actually, can you share your screen and show us?
Yeah.
I'll unshare my screen. First, you have to share your screen.
1 second. It's not working.
Why? So let's talk about your channel while we wait for you to share your screen. All right, so you started this new channel called Viral Trading. I guess you're sharing all your tactics or strategy for day trading. Oh, did I ask you, do you day trade options or stocks?
Options.
Options. Okay, why options?
It's a really intricate question, but basically options, because options are great in so many ways. And once you understand what they're good for is when you'll start to be able to potentially trade them properly. The unfortunate part is a lot of people get introduced to options as like they think it's like an easy way to make 20 times your money.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
but what they don't realize is all the little intricacies that go along with that.
that's very
And
true. Yeah.
and you have to master those things before getting deep into them. And I'm happy I'm happy of where I am right now. I find I'm more confident than I've ever been in terms of options trading. If I were to say one mistake, and I told you this earlier today, it's that when I started trading options, I had way too much capital in my account, and I didn't know what I was doing.
You forgot about theta decay and time value.
Time value and just understanding like probabilities in the market as well, and the whole time value thing, and obviously volatility, like just like things like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not able to share my screen for some reason.
For real?
Yeah,
Just click on the 3 dots over here.
it's not working.
But it was your hangout. If anyone can share their screen, it's you.
I know, it's weird. It's not working.
Actually, let me just share my screen again. I'm sharing my screen, okay? Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I open TradingView. I know, of course, it's going to be easier if you explain it.
Also have a premium membership, so it'll look cooler.
Yeah, of course, that you won.
Yeah.
Full feature chart. All right, so what do I've got? I've got 1 year. What's my time frame? Where do I see the time frame here?
Top left.
Top left, you know this by heart. Top left. This here? No.
So you see where SPY is? Right
Yeah.
next to SPY where it says D.
Unbelievable. What,
Here,
there's a
I'll
1
get one
second time frame?
Yeah, you can't use that. You need to be a premium.
But that's ridiculous. 1 second typing. Oh
So
look,
let me show you a trick right now.
actually,
So if you go on, wait, I lost you here. Hold on. Where did you go? Where'd you go? Okay, click on the time frames again to go back to where you clicked on 1 minute.
yeah,
Okay. Now scroll, go down a little bit. Move your mouse down onto the time frames. Now you see when you have your mouse on a time frame, you can see that there's a little star next to the
yeah,
time frame.
yeah.
Okay, click that to add that to your favorites, and it's going to make it really easy all the time to select the time frames you like. So
Okay.
put the daily, weekly, hourly, and then whatever you like, 5 minute or something.
No, 1 minute.
You like 1 minute? So now you can see those time frames showed up for you on the top there.
Hey, look, I got a 100K demo account that never expires. Jeez. No ads on the chart with any upgraded plan. You have a link for this, right? If anyone wants to sign up to TradingView, it's
Yeah, I
available, and I
do.
think you put it in your description, right? Here, let's look at one of your videos.
Hey, it's me.
Do you have
Can
it
you
in your
comment on that?
description here?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Where? Oh, over here. Okay, perfect. All right, if anyone's interested in a TradingView membership, use Chris's link. All right, hide for now. Okay, so where's the beginning of the day? This is what? Why is this? This is like after hours. It's showing me after hours.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, look, it's 8 o'clock.
That's the 29th.
No, January 30th. I want the 31st. Okay, there's the 31st. I'm on the 1 minute candlestick, right? Is this not the 31st? Why does
I
it
don't
go
know.
to 2:35?
You might be in a different time zone.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's why. Not -5.
Let's go to Cairo.
-5 New York. That's where we are, I think. Yeah.
And then, okay, good. All right, all right. All right, so the day starts, all right? What information do you see? Do you see any opportunities?
I mean,
Like,
judging on the chart you're showing me,
no. Yeah, let's go further out.
it's hard to say really, because like I told you, it depends on the daily chart. It depends on what we're looking for in the daily chart. It depends what the futures did overnight. It depends on if I'm looking at any. Honestly, personally, I don't trade the SPY on its own, but I use the SPY as an indicator
Yeah.
just to gauge the market direction when I'm trading certain U.S. equities.
But basically, so the strategy, the day trading strategy is you take advantage of a run, right? Like this here would be considered a run. You get in here and you get out there, and that's it. And you look for another trend and you take advantage of it as well. You could either, if you want to short the stock, or you can buy the put, right? You could buy the put option and then sell it a little bit lower, right? But how do you know when is the time to enter? Because obviously
Okay.
when you start that, when you're day trading live, you don't see this beautiful red line here. All you see is
Yeah.
up, up, up. How do you know how do you know it's going to switch on you?
Yeah, so look, it's a deep question you're asking, and it's very complicated to answer this. So basically, the way you showed it there, it looks like you showed it in hindsight. So it's
Yeah.
really hard to show a trading decision in hindsight. That's why whenever I show trades
Okay.
on my channel,
All
if I
right.
demonstrate a trade, a lot of the time I will use the replay function to replay the
Here.
psychology behind the trade and try to explain what the traders are thinking about in the moment. Because remember, when you're looking at a price chart of a stock or whatever, you're looking at crowd behavior, you're looking at what traders are doing. So every price move you're seeing is due to money flowing in or out of that stock due to people making decisions. So if you're able to be one step ahead of the crowd, then you're positioning yourself in a place where you have a slight advantage. So that's why I said it's a complicated question to
All
answer.
right. So look, so we know right here there's a trend down, right? So I'm gonna hide it, okay? So this is what you see live. Is there a way to
Okay.
know that the next candle is gonna be red, or that there's a trend lower coming
Okay.
up?
So
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 you're
that's
right over here.
interesting.
You're right over here. This is where you're at
Okay.
right now.
So looking at that chart on the intraday time frame, you can see that it's in a 5 minute downtrend. You're looking at the 1 minute time frame, but if you look at it on a 5 minute, it'll be the same thing. So you
Okay.
can see that we've had our open and then we had a bear break.
Yeah.
Right
Over
right on
here.
that bear
Yeah.
break on the third candle,
Yeah. This one.
that could have been an entry to go short, right on the break of the second candle.
This one.
And yeah, right on the break of that second candle on the third candle, you could have gone short.
Why?
Just because of that was what the market was telling you in that moment, right?
Because
A lot of the times,
we've had three candles in a red candles in a row.
No, not three red candles in a row. You're just looking to trade a break in either direction. This happens a lot in the first few minutes of trading, and it tends to work in either direction. So if you have like a range that's been established in the first like few minutes of trading, and you can look to trade in the direction of a break of that range. So you can see that there was a range established in those first two candles, and then when it broke, it got follow through, and that set the course for the rest of the day. It doesn't
Okay.
always happen that way. It doesn't always you don't always get a trend day like we got today, but in this case, that's what we got. So after that move, we did make that first retrace, you can see, which resulted in just a lower high.
Which candle?
Go a few candles forward to the big green candle there, the first big
This
green
one?
candle. Yeah, so
Okay.
that candle was a move higher and there were buyers that came in there. But if you look at what happened, it just ended up being a lower high. And although any buyers who tried to buy the dip, they ended up getting stopped out when it broke the low of the day from there.
So could you say that, okay, so you've got a lower high. Could you assume that if the next candle is red, then the trend is going to be lower?
No, because it's still an inside bar. On the next candle, it was just an inside bar. You see, so that doesn't give you much info. It just tells you that, well, you can see that the range of that bar is in the same range as the first bar. So it means that the sellers are answering pretty aggressively to that first green bar, which means that the buying and selling pressure is about the same. Now, if you were to see a break of that inside bar bearish like we got, now the odds are starting to shift towards the bears, you see?
This second red one here?
Yeah, so that second candle closing down there gives you a bit of more of a bearish indication.
Okay, then you could probably get in over here.
Yeah, and place your stop above the highs, above that lower high, which you think is going to be a lower high.
Okay, you always have a stop loss.
Very important. We don't use hard stops because if you place a hard stop in a market, usually the market maker. Now this is a different topic, but
Yeah.
I don't think market makers can see stop orders. But they can see limit orders guaranteed. But
Yeah.
anyways, you just use an alert or you just get out when it hits your stop and that's it. You don't place an actual order in the market at that level. You just get out when you get out.
All right, so if I'm trying to get in on this trade, what I would assume is if it goes down hard, eventually it's going to come back up, or the opposite. If it goes up hard, eventually it's going to come back down. So I see these green candles here. I see the trend is going up, and then I'm ready to assume that it's going to come back down. But of course, I don't know when it's going to come back down. So I'm looking over here at the last green candle here. So my assumption is the next time I see a red candle, I'm gonna short this stock. So either I'll short the shares or I'll buy the put option. If my assumption is bearish, I'll buy the put option as soon as I see a red candle. So I see a red candle, I get in. But I get in and I'm ready to get out if my assumption is incorrect, right? And then, oh, look at that, I was right. It's bearish. Oh, look at that, bearish again. Look at that, bearish again. And then I'm ready to get out as soon as I see the first green candle. Do you think that would work? And then I would get out over here because I saw the first green candle. So I got in at this red candle and I got out at this green candle by buying a put option. So that's like at 326 about, and I would get out at 325. So would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah, it would be a fair assumption, but you also have to understand why you got into the trade in the first place.
Just because I assume that if it goes up hard, it's going to come back down, and the opposite. If it goes down, it's going to come back up. And my entry
Yeah,
point,
but
my entry point was one red candle after a run up, and the opposite could be true. One green candle after a run down. So for
it,
example, here
it,
I could assume that okay, it's going to start going back up again, but then as you could see, it's stable a bit and then continues down. So in this case, my stop loss would have gotten executed in this trade here, right? Is that a fair?
I mean, yes and no, because I personally think that just selling because you see a move up and the first red candle, I think there's no edge to that idea personally because you're not considering larger things that happen in the market. Like, for example, if a stock is breaking above a key area of resistance that you know there's a lot of people short the market, then you know that those shorts are going to cover if the price starts breaking higher. At that point, it triggers something that could be a potential short squeeze where it causes a lot of buying in the stock for no reason whatever. So in that case, if you try and short the first red candle, it's most likely you're going to be wrong on the trade because there's going to be a lot of buyers pushing that price up. Even if you get one or two red candles on a small pullback.
I think it will be hard for you to explain. If people want to see how you get your entries, they can go to your channel, I guess, right? I'm sure you explain how you find your entries, right?
Definitely, I do explain a few things, yeah.
Okay. So what I want to know more is the transition between music and trading. Like, are there skills in music that actually help you with trading, or they're completely not related?
Interesting, yeah. I think, well, that's a pretty interesting question because music is an art form. Yes, music is a language, and people do music differently. Not all musicians do music the same. For example, there's some musicians that only work on writing their own music, and there's some musicians that work on making arrangements of other people's music. And so basically there's like different ways to create, there's different ways to experience music, there's different ways to understand music, just like any kind of art form. So in that regard, if you're a creative person, I believe that there can be positive carryover into trading because trading is the type of it's the type of thing that requires you to get better every day. It's not something that you can just learn a certain strategy and then trade that strategy till the day you stop and then just make a ton of money and be happy, you know? Trading is the type of game where every day you get into the markets, your competition is one step better than you. And if you didn't do your homework, those traders are going to take the money out of your trading account. So that's the thing about trading. So if I were to say there is carryover, I would say music is in fact beneficial, has been beneficial to my trading just because I do have a creative side in general, and that creative side helps me to stay motivated to constantly improve my trading every day that passes, you know? So yes.
All right, so you say that there's people out there trying to take your money. Do you have an example when you say that? Like, what's an example that...
Well, you mean in trading, taking your money in trading?
Yeah, you're saying like
Well,
it's competitive.
it's just the basic idea of trading is basically lots of people making decisions about financial markets, and unfortunately in whatever trade that occurs, there's two sides to every trade. So if you're buying a call, someone's selling you that call.
Yeah.
If you're selling a put, someone's buying that put off you, you know? So there's two sides to every trade, and there's always someone losing money and someone making money. So when you make money in your trading account, it means that you took money out of the market or out of somebody else's trading account, which is in the market, and you put it into your account. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. And you mentioned books earlier. Any books you recommend?
Yeah.
What
Like I
about
said
this
before,
one here in the cover page, Trading in the
yeah,
Zone?
yeah, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Excellent book. I still haven't gotten to it, but it covers the certain kind of flow state that, in my opinion, you need to be in if you're a day trader, especially. Or actually, it's a type of flow state that you experience in any kind of professional environment. Like if you need to be, like for example, for me, if I'm playing a show, if I'm on stage, or if I'm creating a piece of music, or if I'm doing something like that, there's a certain state that you can get into where you feel most at home. You feel relaxed, you feel in the zone. And that is the zone that is required to do anything on an extremely high level of performance. So like trading, professional sports, music, whatever it is, you know?
Okay. Yeah, we definitely have different trading strategies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see here traders and channels I admire. So Chart Guys, Umar, Ashraf. So are these channels that you follow?
Yeah. And one of them is you. You can see that. Yeah, in fact, the Chart Guys is the best channel, in
Chart
my
Guys,
opinion,
okay.
for for learning about technical
So
analysis.
actually, so yeah, where did you learn about? Where did you learn most of the trading terminologies and skills?
Just by watching a ton of videos on just kind of being hungry for knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
So where'd you learn
no
about
one really taught
candlesticks?
me. Yeah, that just kind of you learn about that on the internet. You look about trading, you look about technical analysis and stuff like that, and you just kind of see it. It's there, and people start talking about it, and it makes sense. So I started with that, and I was lucky to discover the chart guys pretty early. And just by watching their free videos, you learn a lot about technical analysis. You might not understand it. You might not understand all of it at first because basically all he's saying is he's looking at the chart of the SPY and he'll give like a brief psychological analysis of it. And then he'll say like, okay, SPY is looking for a lower high on the daily chart. SPY is in a weekly uptrend, blah, blah, blah. So you need to understand about what a trend is, a price trend, and that's it. So we can have trends on every time frame, weekly, daily, hourly, 5 minute, and those trends affect. So basically, if the stock is in a longer term uptrend, it can also be in a shorter term downtrend. You know, so the shorter term trends have effect on the longer term trend basically, and normally when we lose a longer term trend, it can signal a larger change in a market. You know,
I know.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So that's pretty much it.
I notice he has long hair like you.
Yeah.
Actually, let's see what's his most popular video.
Yeah, the chart guys rock.
All right, his most popular video is how to trade options.
Wow.
But I bet you, do you think he's buying options or selling options?
Well, Dan is the leader behind the chart guys. Actually, he doesn't trade options at all. He trades only equity.
Okay,
He doesn't trade options
but he goes,
from my experience.
but he buys and shorts the stock.
Yeah, basically he'll buy or short. He trades with sometimes he'll use a three times leverage GTF, sometimes he'll trade
Okay,
yeah, like sometimes like if he wants to go long the SPY or short the SPY, he'll use a three times leverage like SPXL or SPXS. He's into those. And I don't think he trades options. It's possible that he does, but only for quick flips.
okay,
But he's not like you and I. Like we're like I'm into the more technical side of like learning how to sell options, learning how to buy options, learning how to do both, basically.
okay. You should do a video, maybe your best trade, your worst trade as well. That would be interesting.
Wow. Well, I think the worst trade is more important.
All right, is there anything else you would like to add?
Not necessarily. No, not really. Thanks for interviewing me.
Thanks for agreeing. All right, so if anyone's interested in learning more about day trading and Chris's trading methods, go to his channel, subscribe, click the notification bell. Not like I didn't do it. Because I get notification by WhatsApp.
Oh gosh. Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.